All right, it is officially 4:05, so we can get started. So, hi everyone. I am Yusuf, and alongside me is my partner Atallah. Both of us will be giving you the training over the course of these 2 days. Both of us will be available for questions. I will be doing the explaining, and Atallah will be there in the chat to answer any of your questions. All right. So, with that being said, I think we should just get started and go with it. I do want to say, though, however, that at any point in time, you guys can ask questions in the chat. Feel free to just ask questions. Don't wait for any pauses or anything. We will have breaks in the middle, and you guys will be able to follow along with us. I mean, you should follow along with us, but sometimes I'll tell you to wait and just hold on, listen to the explanation first, and then we can move on. I know you guys are going to be itching, you want to get your hands on this stuff, so I'm not going to waste your time anymore, and let's just get started.
Thank you, Yusuf, for the quick introduction. I just want to say hi for everyone. So guys, we'll be together around 6 hours per day for 2 days. I hope we have some fun time and we hack a lot of stuff together. So yeah, in these 2 days, we will be teaching you attack and defense CTF. So the purpose of this training is to qualify you to get a high rank in the upcoming attack and defense CTF pre-qual EDU for Hacking the Box SecConf, which will be, I think, after 9 days, right, Yusuf? It will be 23rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the winners or the top 10 teams of the EDU CTF in Hacking the Box SecConf. These teams will be qualified for the final competition, final attack and defense competition in Abu Dhabi. And the top teams will be invited to come on site. We will be paying for their tickets and accommodation. And yeah, we'll be having a great time together in Abu Dhabi. Maybe we can have also a dinner together. So yeah, I hope this motivates you to pay attention in this course. Ask whatever questions you want. Just don't leave the class without understanding everything. And yeah, let's get started. Good luck, everyone.
Thanks, Atala. So before we start, I'm going to be sharing the material with you guys. Just in case there are some teams out there that, you know, they feel like they're a little bit advanced and they don't want to listen to me talk about what is attack defense for like an hour and a half. So I will give you guys the material for day one right about any second now. It should pop up. Yeah, so right now I'm uploading. There are the slides for the day one training. If you feel like, you know, you're sort of an advanced team and you want to go forward, don't go too far though, because you might, you know, start ruining some things for other people. Stay relatively close, but you guys can just take a look at the material. And if you feel like I'm going a bit too slow or you already know this, feel free to jump up ahead. So let's get started finally with the material. All right. So I'm assuming you guys can see my screen. Can I get a confirmation? Anybody? You guys can see?
Yes, if we see your screen.
Nice. Thank you so much. All right. So let's get started. Welcome to day one of attack and defense training. I will have to check the chat every once in a while. So Atallah, if anybody has a question, just interrupt me so I can answer them because I won't be able to see the chat.
Right.
Yeah? All right.
Sure.
So welcome to your first day in the Hack in the Box attack and defense training. Right. What we're going to cover today is we're going to introduce you to attack and defense, what it is, how it works. Then we're going to move on to introducing you to the Hack in the Box attack and defense platform, which is what you will be using in the pre-qualifications and the final. Next, we're going to move on to some practical stuff where you're going to learn how to list and manage your services that you need to protect. And we're going to move on to the most fun activity of today, which is capturing traffic and stealing exploits from other teams. Again, if you don't really know what the last two mean, don't worry, you'll understand as we move on through the explanation. Starting with attack and defense. So most of you have already played CTFs in the form of Jeopardy, all right, where you have questions. They usually just boxes and you click on them and it's usually just one thing. You solve it, you get the flag, you submit, and that's that. That's Jeopardy. This is a different type of CTF called attack and defense, and it's a whole different game mode. In attack and defense, teams share the same set of services all together in one network. So your team and all the other teams have the same services, and you're all together in one network. Each team's goal is to find the vulnerabilities in the services that they have and craft exploits for them. So you're going to have a couple of services, usually in the form of websites. You need to find the vulnerabilities and write exploits for them. Once you find vulnerabilities in a service, your priority should be to patch your own service while also using the exploit that you just wrote to steal flags from the other teams. That's why it's called attack defense. You're defending your own services while attacking the other team's services. And in attack and defense, there are many factors that affect a team's points. So it's not just like how in Jeopardy, usually your points is just how fast you solved the challenge or how hard it was. That's not the case in attack and defense. In attack and defense, the factors that affect points are first bloods, how many teams are exploiting the same service as you, because if many teams are exploiting the same service or a lot of teams have patched their service, you're going to get very few points, and a team's SLA, which we will talk about shortly. Please note that there are penalties that can be given out to teams if you violate rules, so don't do that. This is a quick comparison between attack defense and Jeopardy games. In attack defense, your target is other teams. However, in Jeopardy, which is what most of you are used to, your target is just challenges that have been put there for the contest. Your goal in attack and defense is to find vulnerabilities and patch them while also exploiting them. However, in Jeopardy, your goal is most often just to exploit the vulnerability. You don't have to worry about patching. In attack and defense, the point system is based off, as I explained in the previous slide, the number of teams that are currently exploiting this service, your SLA, and first bloods. However, in Jeopardy, most commonly, the only things that affect the amount of points that you get are the number of solves this current challenge has and first bloods. When we talk about interaction with other teams, in attack and defense, it is a core element of gameplay. You are going to be attacking and messing with other teams 90% of the game. That's what the whole game is about. You are going to have to come up with clever, creative ways to defend your services, to attack the other team's services, bypass their own defenses. So it's all about interacting with enemy teams, or not enemy, opposing teams. In Jeopardy, you don't really interact with any other teams at all. You don't. You just have challenges, you solve them, and that's that. Usually interaction with other teams is not allowed at all. However, both can be fun. And even if you're not winning, you're just there to have fun. Trust me, it's going to be an amazing experience. So some concepts in attack and defense before we move on. A service. What is a service? I've been saying the word service like 10 times in the past few slides. So a service is a piece of software, or hardware that contains a vulnerability that can be exploited and patched. All right, so think of it literally as a service, something like a website, a database system, some binary that's running on some port that you can connect to through Netcat, or a hardware device. However, because this competition is going to be a mix of online, especially the pre-qualifications are going to be online, you guys don't have to worry about hardware services. So just think of it all as software services. Now there is something called the check system. What is that? Well, this is a system that's put in place on the same network as everybody, and it checks that every team's service is up and running properly. Why? Because obviously, I can't just turn off all my services and be like, oh, nobody can attack me, therefore I am invincible. That's not how that works. So there is a system there that makes sure that everybody is playing fair, everybody has their services up and running, and they're running properly. And we're going to talk about more of that in a second. Then there is the flag service. However, in Hack in the Box, the flag service and the check system are pretty much the same system. But this is essentially the system where you submit flags. So it's not going to be like what you're used to in Jeopardy, where there's usually just a form, you just copy and paste the flag there. Nope, submitting flags in attack defense is a little bit different. And finally, there is the vuln image. This is each team has a vulnerable image VM. This is the server that's hosting all of your services and managing them. You're going to be interacting with this vuln image all the time. It's literally your server where all your services are. All right. So defending in attack and defense. In attack and defense games, you are allowed to be as creative as you want when it comes to defending your services. You can install firewalls, so web application firewalls, all that stuff, go ahead. You can write custom firewall and proxy rules to block suspicious traffic. So let's say, for example, you know the vulnerability is an SQL injection. If you can write up a quick proxy rule that just blocks all requests with the word select, for example, go ahead. That's one way to defend. There's no problem about that. You can hack into other teams' VMs as well if they don't secure their SSH passwords properly. If they leave something open, you're more than welcome to go in and abuse that. However, don't waste too much time. I would say don't waste too much time trying to attack the other team's VMs more than focus on their services, because by default, everybody's server is perfectly fine and secured. There's a random password. So as long as they're not doing something obviously wrong, like they installed something else and they exposed it, I would say don't worry about that too much. You can prevent the exploitation of the vulnerability without actually patching it, which is pretty much the first two. So you don't have to patch the vulnerability, especially if it's something complicated that you might not understand. You're seeing the exploit, you're seeing other teams exploit you, but you don't quite understand how to patch it. So feel free to just try your best to write firewall rules, proxy rules, and just block the exploitation. Make exploitation much more difficult without actually patching the vulnerability. You can even fingerprint other teams' exploits and block traffic. These are essentially the same thing, and pretty much anything. Be as creative as you want. Trust me, the sky's the limit. However, there are some golden rules that should not be messed with at all. You cannot block outgoing traffic containing flags. I mean, it's not that you cannot, you can, you're allowed to, you can. So let's say, for example, you're going to write a firewall rule that blocks all packets that are leaving your services that contain flags. So you're trying to stop packets containing flags from ever leaving your service. You can do that, you can. However, the check system will detect that and you're going to lose SLA. You're going to lose a lot of SLA. That's not nice. You can't remove your own flags from your service. So you can't just log into your database and just remove all the flags. You can, you shouldn't, because the check system will find that. You also can't just, well, I keep saying can't, but you can, you shouldn't. You shouldn't just comment entire endpoints functionality. So let's say the vulnerability is in /login. You shouldn't just go to the code and be like, oh, this entire block of code for /login, I'm just going to throw that in the garbage. We don't need that. Check system will also find that, and you're going to lose SLA very rapidly. Teamwork in attack and defense. It's all about teamwork. There are so many tasks that have to be done in an attack and defense game. So you guys need to have good and efficient communication and role assignment inside of your teams. You can't be running all over the place, 3 people trying to attack the same service, 2 people running around, just jumping between tasks. You should be coordinated, assign tasks from the start. This is critical to ensuring that your team is efficient and you have a chance of winning. Here are some of the tasks that you need to split among yourselves. For example, monitoring packet captures for exploits. Someone is just going to be sitting there monitoring packet captures, trying to grab and steal as many exploits from other teams as possible. Another person will be monitoring service functionality, making sure that nobody knocked down a service by accident, no services got broken, or they stopped working all of a sudden, or no exploit broke the service, so that they can quickly restart the service so they don't lose SLA. Another person will be patching services. So you just give them the vulnerability. You tell them, hey, this is a vulnerability. I think it's on this line. Go ahead. And they start patching. And other people to write exploits and launch those exploits, and someone else to, for example, they're basically your system administrator. They just install tools that you might need. Of course, if your team is less than the amount of tasks in front of you, don't worry. Some of these tasks only happen once another task happens. For example, you only need to write an exploit once you find a vulnerability, and you only need to patch the vulnerability once you find the vulnerability. So, you guys can mix and match. That's perfectly fine. Just make sure that not 2 people are kind of doing the same exact thing. All right. So rules, we gotta talk about rules. There's no competition without rules. You are allowed to monitor the traffic and steal opposing teams' exploits. So you're pretty much allowed to. It's actually a big thing to do in attack and defense. Perfectly fine. You can also take your services offline if the exploits are making your service unstable. So if it's like if it's a command injection, the vulnerability is command injection, and someone thinks they're so funny, their exploit is basically just RF slash, and they just destroy your service. You are allowed to take your services offline, patch them, work on them, and bring them back up again. However, you got to do that quickly because you're going to lose SLA. You are also allowed to patch your services in any way you see fit. Again, as I said before, let's say in the case of SQL injection, you just decide to block all requests with the select keyword. That might work for some time before some other teams start to realize that, hey, I'm just going to start encoding my SQL injection in hex or something to bypass these simple filters, right? I felt like someone was going to interrupt me. No? Okay. So you are not allowed to, however, filter traffic that is coming from opposing teams, which is not exactly possible anyway. I'll talk about that in a second. So you can't just, bring up IP tables and be like, oh, I'm just going to block all traffic from all other teams and I'm just going to sit here and be invincible. You can't do that. That is against the rules. You can't perform any type of denial of service. Again, obvious, it's not fair if you're just, throwing chunks of packets at enemy teams. They can't even talk to their services. You're going to be disqualified for that. And you obviously cannot attack game infrastructure or attack targets that are outside the game. What are you doing outside targets outside the game anyway? There's a game happening. Don't touch anything outside the VPN network. Just focus on the game. Again, for more rules, be sure to check out the conference link. They have much more detailed rules over there. Oops, skip the slide. All right. So finally, SLA. What is this thing? I keep talking about SLA over and over. So SLA is the fraction of the game time in which a service is considered up. For example, if the service was always up, the SLA would be 1. Another example is, let's say you've been playing for 4 hours and your service has only been up for 3 hours, so 3 out of 4, your SLA would then be 0.75. And so that means that your SLA is essentially how healthy your services have been over the course of the game. And these actually make a very big difference in points. Don't just ignore SLA. Don't think that, oh, SLA is just a number. How bad can it be? And you just turn off all your services and attack. You're not going to win. You're not going to get any points. Now, there are 4 states that the check system can basically say that your service is in. Okay, which means the service is online, it's working, it's returning flags, everything's fine. Mumble, which means that the service is online, but it's not working properly. So let's say it's getting 404s, some random 403s, something is breaking, it's not getting the expected responses. Or corrupt, which means that the service is online, but it just can't see any flags. So remember when I said that you can't remove your own flags? That's because the check system will find out. It will be like, hey, I can't see previous flags anymore. What happened? And so you lose SLA. Or down, which means that the service is not even up and running at all. And there will be other concepts as well that will be explained later on. Getting started, finally. So you probably got bored of me talking for the past, I don't know how much time. So finally, we're going to do something practical. So I need you guys all to go to this link, cloud.training.ctf.hitb.org/cloud.html. And I'm going to do that with you. But for a second, I need you to stay with me just for a second so I can explain exactly what this is. So this is your cloud console. From this cloud console, this is where you can create and manage your vulnerable images, take snapshots of them, connect and disconnect your vulnerable image from the game network. And this is most importantly, where you will download VPN configs for your team. So I hope all of you have OpenVPN community installed. If not, please do just say in the chat that you might not have OpenVPN installed. And we're going to try to, help you with that. But for now, everybody who can, please follow along with me to cloud.training.ctf.hitb.org. Well, that takes a lot of time. Thank you, Andrew. So Andrew is with us to share the link. So here we go. You go /cloud.html and you see this big scary screen, right? So what you need to do is you need to get the token that was emailed to you. So we have a question. Do you lose points if others steal your flags? No, you don't lose points. You just lose flags. I think Andrew is here to help clarify on this point. I'll say we're a long way from stealing flags from other people. Trust me, that's mostly day 2 material.
Yusuf, is it okay if you send the URL in the chat?
Andrew already did that in the chat. It's right there. Cloud training.
Okay, I mean the Open VPN.
Right, so the OpenVPN. Okay, so I'll just do this in front of everybody so you guys can see. So you're going to go to the OpenVPN website. You are going to, don't click on VPN client. Don't do that. You're going to go to community and downloads. All right. And if you're on Windows, you can get these installers right here. If you're on Mac or Linux, you guys don't have to download these. If you're on Mac, you can just use Homebrew, or if you're on Linux, just look up how to install OpenVPN on your specific version of Linux. So if you're running some Debian, you can just do apt. If you're running Arch, just find out what the package names are. Again, if you guys are having issues, you can drop questions right here in the chat or on Discord for support. But I'm pretty sure you guys can manage to at least install OpenVPN on your own. So is everybody on the screen? Is there anybody who is having any issues coming to this nice big matrix theme console?
Yusuf, I believe that there are some participants. Actually, one is texting me that he didn't get the token in the email. I didn't get the email. Ahmed Yusuf sent me the link. Send me the link. I believe.
حمد يوسف انت طرشت لي اللينك مال الزوم بس ما وصل لي اي ايميل. I didn't get any email of invitation. Maybe my email is written wrong when I registered or something like that.
I believe this is not possible at the moment since all the teams are set up in the infrastructure. However, please wait, Hamad. We will check with the HackerDom team and we will see if it is possible. Okay. Just hold on. Okay, just hold on, please.
Right.
Yusuf, you can go on, please.
All right. So anybody else having any issues with their tokens? No, hopefully not. So, all right. In that case, so what you guys need to do is, yeah, so as Andrew said in the chat, thank you, Andrew. If you haven't gotten your team tokens, you just please drop your team name in the chats and he'll be here to help you. Thank you so much, Andrew. So I'm going to very sneakily steal this token here. That wasn't very sneaky at all. And so you're just gonna paste your tokens, okay? And you log in. Ta-da. So can everybody, or at least most people, confirm that you have at least done this step so far? Just type something, say that you have at least logged in. Yep, okay, that's one. Nice, okay, that's great, awesome. So you're all here logged into this nice matrix team console, okay? Now we move on. So what are we going to do next? I think I'm not going to bother opening the full presentation mode because that's just going to takes like 10-second transition just to get me anywhere. Okay, so welcome to the Hack in the Box Attack Defense Cloud Console. So you can type in help, you can get a list of all the commands that you guys, can work. And we're going to discuss most of these commands one by one. So the first thing that you need to do is run the get_team_openvpn_config command. So what that does, and I'll show you, is you're going to do get. Oh, my typing skills aren't amazing today. Open VPN config like this. Oh, it's going to say an error that we didn't create a VM first. Okay, wrong steps. Here we go. First thing we have to do is, you got to create a VM. So you got to create a vulnerable image. All right. This is going to create the server, the vulnerable image server that holds all your services. You're going to type in create_VM, and it's going to take some time, and that's fine. Give it all the time that it needs. After we create the VM, then we're going to get the OpenVPN configs. No worries. So give it all the time that it needs. And once it's done, you guys will download the OpenVPN configs, connect to the VPN, and I'll show you how to make sure that you have connected properly and that everything is working. Then we'll get to do the exciting part, which is logging into your vulnerable images. We're just waiting for the VM to be created. Don't worry. Take this micro 30-40 second break. Enjoy it while it lasts.
Until the break ends, guys, let us know, what do you have for snack today? Do you have chips? Do you have coffee? Watching this training? Who has Red Bull dinner? Taco Bell. Wow.
Water is always good. You should always stay hydrated. So if any of you guys, once your VM has been successfully created, just tell me quickly in the chat, just say done if it has been created, so that I can just get a metric. Wow, some people created their VM before me. That's interesting. And now I'm done. 1 VM per team. Well, all of you share the same VM token. Okay, so if both of you try to create a VM at the same time, it's the same virtual machine anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Nice. So we're running into more people done. All right. In that case, the teams who are done. So let me show you. You will run the get team OpenVPN config command, right? It gives you this big, just dumps this huge amount of text. What you need to do is you need to copy all this text, okay, and put it in a .ovpn file. All right. So copy it and just paste it into an OVPN file of your choice. So I'm going to do that. Let's pop up the trusty terminal. Let's create a directory just for this training. So hack in the box CTF training. And I'm going to call this hack in the box VPN.ovpn and just paste that in. Oh, that didn't copy at all the way I wanted to. Let's try that again. Is that the same private key? I can't tell at all. Yeah, okay. I'm going to assume it is. All right. So people who are on Linux, you guys should probably be familiar with this. All you got to do is open VPN and then just the name of the profile and you'll be connected. For people on Mac, if you haven't connected to OpenVPN profiles before, you can download this tiny guy here called TunnelBlick. I'll type the name in the chat. Yep, so that's for people on Mac, and for people on Windows, I think the client is also open in the bottom right on the taskbar. You can just right click import profile and just give it the OVPN and you'll be connected. So in my case, this is for people on Mac. I will just add here VPN. Can I not add? Okay, I think I just have to open it. I'll just open it here. It's usually how I do it. Only me. There we go. And that's it. That's installed. So I'll just connect to Hack in the Box VPN. And it will be connecting. And I am connected. So for people who are connected to the VPN or want to verify that you are connected to the VPN, is normal C UDP operation not permitted? Is it not connecting, or is it that just a warning that OMVPN is giving you? Oh, some people are saying use sudo. Yeah, you should always, if I'm guessing you're running Linux, in that case, you should always just use sudo because OpenVPN needs to create a new interface. So always run it with sudo. Thanks. So if you are connected to the VPN, you can verify that you're connected by pinging. If you want to do it, you know, old school, just ping 10.10.10.10. And there you go. Don't worry about request timeouts. That was just my ping being stupid. If you want to do it a little bit modern and you don't want to ping, you can just simply go to your browser and go to 10.10.10.10, which is currently running. Look at this, a scoreboard with all of you nice people. Does the file name matter? No, you can call it anything you want.
For AI, I believe just try to copy it again, copy the content from the web interface again of the VPN file, and then try to paste it. Maybe there's something syntax error in the content that you copied.
Right. So apart from people who have issues, is there, so I'm not going to ask people who are connected. I want to see who's not connected. So is there anybody who's having issues connecting to the VPN so far, other than apart from AI? I think I should start asking for people who have issues and not people who are done. Try to ping, yeah, try to ping 10.10.10.10, or like I said, open it in the browser. If you see it, then everything is all great and good. So, okay, in that case, still can't, I verified. Okay, I'll be with you shortly, AI, once we take the next break. But if you can just Google the error on Google and see what other people are saying, but I'll be with you right when we go for the next break, all right? Or if Ahmed as well can help you, that would be great as well. So for now, we're just going to move on with explaining the rest of the commands, okay? So now you've created your VM, you've downloaded the VPN, and you have configured it. You've connected to the VPN, supposedly. So what can you do next? After you've created your VM, you can run get VM info command. You cannot connect by OpenVPN client. You can connect using the OpenVPN client. That's what you should use. Don't use OpenVPN Connect. That's what I was saying. So if you have OpenVPN Connect, which is their weird version of OpenVPN client, you can't use that. You have to use the community client. Yep, no worries. So as I was saying, so you can run the get VM info command, all right? And you guys in the output, you'll see that it'll tell you that your VM is running, and it will give you the external address, which is usually team and then your team number, .training.ctf.hackinthebox.org. Okay, so this team X, remember that X number because that's going to be important. Then it's also going to tell your internal address. This is your address on the game network that everybody can see. You have an internal address of 10.60.x.3. Again, that X is your team number. It's going to also expose to you your SSH root password, which you should go in and change it if you want. And so let's do exactly that. But before we do that, actually let's do that. So I want everybody who's connected to the VPN and he doesn't have any issues so far, follow along with me and let's SSH into our vulnerable images. Okay. So I have to do this very quickly because I know that one of you wonderful people will grab my root password. So get VM info. Here is my root password. I'm just going to speed run this. Let me just change my SSH password. Always, you never know what can happen at these fun trainings.
Guys, we have trust issues.
Yeah, you never know what can happen. So now that you've all connected to your vulnerable image, congratulations, you are now inside your vulnerable image. In my case, you can see that I am now team 100. For you, it will say a different number. Again, verify that your vulnerable images are connected to the game network. So again, ping 10.10.10, and you should see it perfectly works. And verify that, you can verify that, let's say, oh, if config is not installed, that's not great. Is IP installed? Yes, okay. So you can type in IP adder if you want and look for Ethernet 1, I am assuming, yeah. And you can see that your the IP address of your vulnerable image right here, 10.60.100.3, is the same as the internal address right here. I mean, it's never going to be different, but it doesn't hurt to check. And that's that. So congratulations, you have connected successfully to your vulnerable image VM. You made sure that it works. Yeah, if config is deprecated, but you know, old school me, still used to typing if config. Gotta get used to IP adder or IP. So let's move on. So anybody has any issues for some reason SSHing into their vulnerable images? Can anybody for any reason not SSH into their vulnerable image? Apart from VPN issues, of course. No. Okay, that's great. Wow, one step so far with no issues. So now that you've connected successfully, I would say the first thing that you should do is that you should take a snapshot of your vulnerable image. So right now, this is your vulnerable image. You've verified that it works. You're in, everything's running fine. So this should be a default state that you need to take. Like you need this. Why am I messing up my words? It's better to take a snapshot right now while the virtual machine is in its initial state before you start installing anything on it or we start running attacks or anything. This is great in case anything happens to your virtual machine, you know, your vuln image, and it breaks for whatever reason, you have a snapshot that you can roll back to. So how can we do this? From our cloud console, you can run the command take underscore snapshot and give it a name. So for me, I'm going to call it initial state. So take underscore, let me just take underscore snapshot, and I'm going to call it initial state. I spelled initial wrong. Of course I did. And that's that. So it's going to take several minutes. So you can check the snapshots that you have available by doing list snapshot. The snapshots, yeah, list and snapshots. And it's going to tell me right now that I have no snapshots, which makes sense because it said that it's going to take a couple of minutes. So we'll come back and we'll check it later on. But everybody, just take a snapshot of your virtual machine, call it whatever you want, just so we have a safe fallback zone. So during the training, if anything goes bad, I can't SSH it to machine all of a sudden, or your shell is just freaking out, we'll just tell you to roll back the snapshot. Oh, press enter several times. Okay, there we go. Hope you guys can see it now. Thanks, Andrew. So take snapshot and then the name of the snapshot, list snapshots, list snapshots, sorry. And you can see that it says no snapshots are created yet because it says to wait. You have to wait several minutes.
Yusuf, I think you should keep going. We'll try to solve the VPN errors with the guys.
All right, sounds good then. For everybody who's not having VPN issues, then you can feel free to follow along with me. So, in that case, I think we're going to do one last thing. I think we're creeping up on a break. So there are commands that, let's say something does happen and you want for any reason to restore your VM. Again, looking back at the help section, so there are a couple commands that we didn't explain yet. There's restore VM from snapshot, which again allows you to very obviously restore a VM from snapshot, and you specify the name of the snapshot. You can also delete some snapshots if they're outdated and they're old, you don't need them anymore. You can feel free to remove them. You can reboot your virtual machine. Now we're going to take a look at these two. So connect VM to game network, disconnect VM from game network. So in the event that your virtual machine, for any reason, you think that it's being unstable because the enemy teams or something is happening, they're messing with your virtual machine. You feel like you're under heavy traffic, some exploit that is being repeatedly thrown at you is making your machine unstable, you can disconnect your virtual machine entirely from the game network so that you can work on it, fix it, patch it, do everything that you want, and then bring it back onto the game network. Just be careful that when you do that, all your services will be considered as down, okay? Because you're no longer connected to the game network. So the check system can no longer interact with your VM. All right. And when you're done, you're done patching everything up, you can now connect your virtual machine to the game network. All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. Here we go. Moving on. Finally, I think we might be able to do something now. All right. So hack in the box attack network structure. So how does the network look like? This is a nice diagram of how the network looks like. So every team sits in their own network. You can see here. So this is team 1. So their IP address is 10.60.1.0/24. That's their subnet. Please note that everybody's vulnerable image is .3. Okay. So if I want to attack team 5, their IP address for their vulnerable image would be 10.60.5.3. All right. And all the teams are connected together with the game router. And the check system is 10.10.10.10. All right. Now, a very important thing. All traffic leaving, like going to any team, is natted by the game router. What does that mean? Is that if team 254 right here is attacking team 1 and the check system is running some checks on team 1, you cannot tell the difference. It's going to be the same IP. You're going to see the IP of the game router, 10.80.1.1. Right? You won't be able to tell, oh, this traffic is coming from the check system. Oh, this traffic is coming from a separate team. And you are forbidden. It is against the rules to try to find, let's say, differences in packet headers or anything that allows you to distinguish on a purely technical level traffic between the check system and different teams. You're not allowed to. Of course, you are allowed to detect suspicious traffic. Nobody said anything about that. So you can drop packets based on their payload, but you cannot drop packets based on their properties. All right. If you attempt to block traffic in any way, shape, or form only from the check system, you will be found out. I mean, you're gonna allow traffic from the check system but block other teams. You will be found out and you will most probably be disqualified, right? And if you try to block this IP address right here and you just let it go, you're like, oh, I just want to block 10.80.1.1, the game router. Neither the check system, neither will other teams be able to communicate with you, and you will lose SLA very rapidly. All right? All right. Glad we got that point across. So finally, let's discover some services, and then I think we're gonna leave you, I think after this slide, we're going to go on a quick 15 to 20-minute break so you guys can just breathe and just go refill your coffee cups. Can you explain what you mean by properties? Okay, so what I mean by properties is, let's say, for example, like some packet header, like a MAC address or something, okay, or something like a TTL or some technical property in the packet that you're trying to use to differentiate between, exactly, something permanent. You're trying to use this thing to differentiate between check system and team traffic. You're not allowed to do that. You can perfectly judge by the what do you call it, the body. All right, it's perfectly fine. So what I mean is like the actual content of the request. Feel free to go crazy with that, just not any technical properties. No worries. So discovering running services. So everything right now in the training and most probably also in the competition is going to be services that are running in the form of Docker containers. If you don't know what Docker containers are, think of them as sort of micro virtual machines. Okay, everything is running in its own kind of mini VM. All right, and managing Docker services requires its own command line client that I'm going to explain to you very quickly how to use. Okay. So once you're connected to your team's virtual machine, all right, you're in and you're connected. You're gonna want to run. So let's make this guy a lot bigger. I'm glad so much AI that you fixed your connection problems. That's great. All right. So now that you're in, what you want to do is you want to type Docker and then PS. Okay. And that, well, okay, my terminal is a little bit too big. I should have thought twice about that. Docker PS, still too big. Still too big. Okay. I made it bigger and then I suffered from making it bigger. All right, that's great. So let's clear screen, Docker PS. You see all the current running containers. And right now, these are all the services that we have available in the training. So let's take a look. All right. Here we see that we have a service called Health Monitor. We have a service called MySQL. We have a service called Nasarasa, FreeLife, and CoffeePot. So in total, we have 4 or 5 different services, right? And so this output of Docker PS might look a little bit scary. Like I'm looking at this, I have no idea what this means. I have no clue what's happening. Help. No problem. That's what I'm here for. So I'm going to now explain to you how to understand the output of Docker PS. So let's go here and let's go to the next slide. So how can you understand the output of Docker PS? So this first column right here is your container ID. It's a short series of hexadecimal characters, and this is what you need to use. You need to use this container ID to restart, stop, delete containers. All right. Then the next thing you have is the service name. So this is the image name, right? This gives you a hint what service this container belongs to. Then you have the service uptime status. Now this is important. A service uptime can tell you if a service has crashed or if it's unhealthy, it's like suffering a little bit. And another very important point is service ports. Okay, here this is what lets you know what ports your services are running on. So I have a service running on 8080, I have a service running on 3306, a service running on 80, and a service running on 8000, and another service running on 3255. Okay, again, we can go back into our machine, run Docker PS, and make sure that, you know, again, we have a service running on 8080, 3306, 80, 8000, and 3255. And you can verify these. Like, let me visit my own. So type in the IP of your vuln image. So for me, it's 10.60.100.3. And let's just go. This is port 80. This is Nasarasa running on port 80. Let's go to port 8000. This is the service FreeLife running on port 8000. Let's go to 3255. This is the service CoffeePot. You can see the services are running and everything is well. So I'll leave you guys to verify that your services is running, and we'll take a quick 20-minute break, especially for the people who have connection issues with the VPN. So because you guys need to follow on the next steps. So we're going to take a quick 20-minute break, and we'll see you guys at, well, in my time, it's 5:20. I'm trying to translate it. We'll see you guys in 20 minutes. All right.
Yusuf, you may display a timer on the screen if you want.
Sure.
Just Google any nice timer, or we can develop one on the go.
I just need Google to just, why is it so hard to just find the countdown? You know what we'll just do a timer in that case. I know Google has a built-in timer. No, they don't have a built-in timer. They do. There we go. And go. Right. See you guys in 20 minutes. All right, guys, we got 1 minute left until we're back from break. Hope you guys had a chance to go refill your coffee, refill your dinner, refill whatever it is you're drinking. Most importantly, water. I will move on to some other interesting stuff for today. All right, so we are back from our break. Is the CTF intended for all or only students? No, the CTF is intended for absolutely, well, it's an EDU CTF actually. So it's all educational. So you got to be a student to participate, unfortunately. Although as far as I'm aware, there is a pro CTF, but for now it's just an EDU CTF. All right. So let's get started then. Is everybody back here? So if you're back here, just tell me back so I can know that you guys are back and listening and alive. Nice, nice. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, it's glad to see that everybody is here, almost everybody. So we will move on then. We're going to keep going. So last thing that we did, just since everybody has internet connectivity and everybody is, back on the VPN, hopefully, is we discussed that we have 4 or 5 different services running in our training session. All right. And so the next thing we got to talk about is how can I access the code? I want to know what's running the service. How can I manage it, turn it off, restart, and all that stuff? And that's what we're going to talk about next. So right now, let's talk about extracting a services code base. You want to download all the code belonging to a service. Now, if you go to /home, so let's go in our VMs and let's go to /home, right? CD/home and ls, you'll see we have 4 services: CoffeePot, FreeLife, Health Monitor, and NASA Rasa. These are your services. So all of your services are stored in /home, the code belonging to those services. And you can download and upload this code off of the virtual machine using any method, most probably SCP. So let's just very quickly download the source code for all of our challenges from not challenges, services onto our host machines. So to download a directory recursively from the VM to our host, we run this SCP command. For people on Windows, you have to use WinSCP, but it's even easier since WinSCP is a graphical interface. You want to download the source to the destination. So let's talk about that. How are we going to do that? So I'm going to open a new tab. This is running on my machine right now. This is my host. I'm going to go into the Hack in the Box training folder that I did. Okay. And I'm going to do SCP root at, and then the IP of my vuln image, which in this case is .100.3. The source, so I want to download /home. Okay. Remember to put -r after SCP. Sorry, my bad. So recursively, we want to download /home and all the folders in /home. And I want to save it in HITV training, and I'm going to call it services. Okay. So it's going to download everything. Hold on, let me type in my password. Right, it's going to download everything from /home into /services. Okay, and you're going to let it go. This is going to take some time because it's a lot of many small files, and we're just going to leave it going. So everybody, if you're here, do the same thing I just did right now. Do SCP and run the SCP command and let your services download. And yeah, If you're on Windows, like I said, you can use WinSCP or any other SCP client. Again, you don't have to use SCP to download. You can pretty much do anything you want. You can literally just zip the entire folder, run Python simple HTTP server, and just download it off your host. You're free to do whatever you want. This is just the simplest built-in method. Is there anybody having issues with downloading the code base off of their machines as we wait for this to be done? No? All right, that's great. So in that case, I think we can just move on to the next slide while it downloads. So let's talk about Docker and Docker Compose. In order to manage your services, okay, you need to learn how to use Docker and Docker Compose, okay? All services, as you're going to see in a moment, come with a Docker Compose.yml file, which allows you to easily manage the services container. You're going to see what that means in a second. And the most common thing that you need to learn how to do is how to redeploy your services once you've updated the code base. All right, so now let's say you patch the service. How can you redeploy the service again? How can you update the service? It's not just updating the code and then that's it. No, you have to rebuild the Docker container. And I'll show you how you can do that. Docker Compose comes with a couple of commands that are useful for managing containers. So if you're inside the folder of a service on your vuln image, you can run Docker Compose down, Docker Compose up, Docker Compose build, which allows you to rebuild the service, and Docker Compose logs, which shows you the logs. So let me show you what I mean by that. So while this is still going, well, it's actually done by now, but let's go to our vuln image. I'm going to, for example, let me make this bigger. I'm going to go into the NASA RASA folder, okay? The NASA RASA service, all right? And I do ls. I see that there's a Docker Compose file here. That means I can run Docker Compose commands here. So I'm going to say, for example, Docker Compose down, and that's going to stop my NASA RASA container. So if I actually go now to my machine, I think NASA RASA runs on port 80, connection refused. And if we wait a couple of seconds, the check system will come in and it's going to note my NASA RASA service as down. Any moment. Might take a couple of seconds, but we'll leave it. So right now, you see how all my services are up, okay, on the scoreboard. And we're going to talk more in detail about the scoreboard in day 2. But right now, you can see in the scoreboard this green arrow under every service. Under my team, I am org1. Oh, what happened? Why did you break? Oh, well, I had to refresh. Okay, now I have to find org1. Here we go. Org1. See how my SLA is 4? Because I have 4 services and they've been up for as long as possible. So my SLA is 4. All my services have been up on 100% of the time. We just got to wait for the check system to kick in. Any second now. You know what? We'll give it a bit. We'll give the check system because the check system runs in rounds, and you'll learn more about that in day 2. But for now, Docker Compose down brought my container down. And I can even show you if I do Docker PS. Nope, that's not how it's supposed to go. Docker PS. You'll see that you see health monitor, free life, and coffee pot, but no NASA RASA. Okay, so the container is actually down. I think now we can go check the scoreboard. org1, here we go. I can see that also team 0, some team 0's also NASA RASA container is down. You see org1, NASA RASA down. My service it's off. So the check system reports that and I'm starting to lose SLA. Okay, see how the other teams have a higher SLA than me. So they're on top of me, but I have less SLA. So SLA does matter in your position in the scoreboard. All right. So I can fix this simply by undoing what I just did, which is Docker Compose up. So Docker Compose up will just bring up the container. But now hold on, what just happened? So the problem is that I didn't tell Docker to run the containers in the background. So what I'm seeing right now is all the logs from the different containers. If I try to leave this or Control C, I kill my containers again. So when you do Docker compose up, it is important for you to add this option right now. So do Docker compose up -D for detach, which means run the containers in the background. See, and I get my bash prompt again, and I can go right here and refresh. If only the Zoom thing would move out of the way. And reload. There you go. My container, NASA container is up again. See? So let's talk about updating code and fixing the services. And I'll show you right now that in org1, after my container is back up again for NASA, it will report it as up again. All right. So let's go to the code. Actually, let's go back to the presentation. I might be missing on something. So capturing traffic. Okay, we're going to capture traffic for defense in a second. Let's just talk about building the exploit. So rebuilding services. So I want all of you to go into your source code. So here on your host source code, we're going to update our source code right now. Okay, for now, I think instead of doing it on your host and re-uploading the code, that's going to take some lot of time. Actually, let's do that. Let's do it. No worries. Why not? So go into your services, go into NASA, go into www. You'll notice that it's a PHP app. Let's go to index.php to open it in your favorite code editor. Actually, not index.php. This is it's a complex app. Let's go to templates, index template. Okay, and let's change something about this. So for example, NASA, I'm going to come here and I'm going to add hello world. All right, just a very simple, change, just the title of the page, right? Just to show you that we're going to do an update now. We want to push this update back into the cloud. So I did an update right now. Okay, I updated my index template. And I want to effectively update this code in the cloud now, and not in the cloud, well, in my vulnerable image. How can I do that? Well, again, let's go back to the slides and let's go at that SCP command. There was another one, how to upload a directory recursively from our host. So let's do that. So we're going to do SCP -R and then the source. Okay, what is the source? Well, we're uploading .services NASA. We want to upload the NASA folder, or actually, yeah, we want to upload the NASA folder. Okay, where do we want to upload it? Well, we want to upload it to root at 10.60.100.3, and we want to upload this to /home/NASA. Right? That sounds good. Actually, that might create. I feel like that might create a duplicate. So we're gonna just upload this to /home. I hope I'm right with this. Let's see. It should be directory called NASA. You should add NASA to this thing. Okay, so let's do NASA like this. Let's see how that goes. So I'm going to type in my password. Nah, we'll find out soon enough. Don't worry about it. So we're going to let it upload everything. We can actually check the progress here. No, see, it uploaded a duplicate directory. Yes. So we're gonna cancel this. So it was the other way around. There's no worries though. So we're gonna remove this duplicate directory over here. So this is how you should properly upload. Okay, we want to upload the local NASA directory to /home. Okay, so that it can replace the NASA directory that's already in /home. Okay, and let's just do this. And there you go. For those of you who use complicated, like not complicated, like big IDEs or code editors, you can always have some sort of SSH extension. So for those of you who use Visual Studio Code, there is a remote SSH extension. You can just use that and edit the code directly on the server without having to download the code locally, right? So right now, if I do ls, and we can just do a very quick check. Let's just go into www. Let's cat our index template, and you'll see that my code got pushed. this is on the vuln image, and my code got re-uploaded again. And that's great. So how can I now redeploy the service? So what we're going to do is we're going to do Docker compose, okay, build. Let's give it a second. Oh, it's now building the Docker container. Just give it a second. It'll take some time depending on the container. And I wanted to let you know, just in case, that you do have internet access on the vuln images, if you didn't notice yet. So go ahead, feel free to install whatever tools you are used to having. Tmux, HTOP, any tools that you're kind of used to, or you feel like will make your life easier when interacting with your vuln image, go ahead, install. Again, you'll have more time once this training is over. You guys can spend all night playing around. We'll just wait for the container to be built. And so it says here successfully built and successfully tagged. So let's update our container. So you're going to do Docker compose down. Okay. And then you're going to do Docker compose up -- force - recreate, like this. Just to force the container to use the latest image of our, oh, look, I made a mistake. I forgot -d. So I'm running it in my terminal again. Yeah, you got to keep track of all this. So -- force recreate -d. And if I go into my browser and I refresh, please, what happened? Why did my MySQL server break? Oh, that's going to be interesting. What happened? Okay, let me try something. Oh no, please. All right, let's try this one more time. All right, they're up. What? Can wait for the DB server to be up. Well, it is up. The error is coming from the DBs. The error is coming from the DB. It's saying that it doesn't have access. That's what I'm saying. All right, everything is up right now. Refresh. Host 172.22.0.3 is not allowed to connect. Okay, I most probably broke something, and that happens. Okay, and that's why we have snapshots. That's actually a great use case. And that's why you have. You think you saw something in the logs? Let's see here. It's just connecting. It's connecting using a different IP address that it's not familiar with. The MySQL database permissions is what's messed up. You can easily fix it by just granting permission to the database. Oh, the deprecated TLS. Don't worry about that. That's fine. No, that's fine. All right. So Poonstar says you can take it down and then rebuild it again. Let's try that. So to Docker compose down. Yeah, the same error. You waited for 2 minutes. Did you take the database down? Yeah, did. So we did. You took the data both down and then both up right now. That's what I did. Now we're getting a completely different error. Now we're getting connection refused. Hey, welcome to debugging. Docker PS. Let's see here. Come on, database. Come on, database. Come to life for me. All right, you know what? That's fine. I think we'll give it a couple of seconds for the database to come on. But all in all, at least I'm happy that the code differences that I made got uploaded. By the way, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody just straight up logged into the database and messed around with the permissions, which we'll talk about in a second. You guys will get to know in day 2. And that's fine. But hold on. I'm gonna give it one more try. I think I'm gonna. So it doesn't even see. Oh, there we go. So it actually you had to wait a couple of minutes before the database worked. That's interesting. Oh well, I guess it's just my bad. And you can see here in the source code. So I just wasted like 5 minutes to 10 minutes worrying about nothing. And you can see right here, hello world got added into the title tag. So I did successfully update the code. All right, that's great. All right, don't worry about those MySQL databases error. I think you should just give all your services like 2 minutes to just come back to life. But oh well. Yeah, we should have added a depends on, and there should be a depends on in the Docker Compose. So it should wait for the DB first. You're actually right. You can fix that yourself. That's the whole point of attack defense. Will the cloud machine be used during the contest? You're going to have something similar to this, but not exactly this one. Obviously, this will be reset. You're going to get a brand new cloud VM in the prequel, but it will be pretty much the exact same setup, where you will go into your cloud machine, you will find services in /home, and you can, again, they're all Docker containers, bring them up, bring them down, pre-build them, up to you. Yep. So we'll go back to the presentation. Now we just proved that we can run code, we can update code and rebuild our containers successfully. Okay. Again, if you want to learn more about Docker Compose and Docker commands, there are so many cheat sheets out there for the Docker CLI. Go ahead and read them. If you feel like you want to really fine tune how your containers are built, feel free to edit those Docker Compose files as well. Go ahead, go crazy. Literally, you're allowed to do whatever you want. So let's talk about capturing traffic for defense. Why do we say that you're allowed to capture traffic? Well, because teams are going to be launching exploits at your services, and you are allowed to take the role of a defender who has packet logs, and you can read and try to understand what was the exploit that was thrown at you. What endpoints are they looking at? What does the payload look like? Do I see some SQL keywords in there? Do I see some Linux commands? Is it a command, injection bug? What's happening, right? You're perfectly allowed to do that. All right. And so this also allows you to see when the check system is adding flags into your service. So the game is split into rounds, and this is we're supposed to get more into this into day 2 training, but the game is split into rounds that are 1 minute long. Every minute, the check system will come and add new flags into your services. You can find that with your packet captures. So you install the extra app when the game starts. Yes, you will actually get some time period. They will tell you that they're like, usually you do have some time period to set up before the game network opens. So they'll tell you this is where you can download all the code, take a couple of looks, install all the apps that you want. So they give you like a peace period to set up your cloud VM and set up all the tools you need before the game actually starts, right? So in order to capture packets, we're going to be using TCP dump, which actually comes pre-installed in your cloud VM. So if we go right here, I think it should be pre-installed TCP dump. Yep, it is. That's great. And so using TCP dump, we can very easily capture packet logs and take a look at them. So let's say, for example, first we have to figure out, like, just to make sure that our PCAPs are small, we have to figure out what interface is connected to the game network. And I'm pretty sure almost in all the VMs, it's going to be Ethernet 1. So you can do IP space adder and look for I know it's a huge output, but look for the interface with the IP address of your cloud VM. So this Ethernet 1 has 10.60.100.3. So I know that I should listen only on Ethernet 1. No need to listen on all these no need to listen on all these other Ethernet interfaces. The team captain should make the get team OpenVPN config. Well, there's no difference. There's no difference, soft addict. You can actually go, like any user, all of you actually should run the get team OpenVPN config. It's one VPN config anyway. you should all get different configurations. No, trust me, especially with OpenVPN, it's just the safest for everybody to run like every team member should run the get team OpenVPN config command. All of you can log in, not just the team captain, because I think the team captain should share with everybody your team token, and so that you can all log into the cloud console. Again, you should coordinate with each other, but yeah, as long as as long as you guys all have access to the same config, it should be all good. All right, so moving on, let's capture some traffic. Okay, so TCP dump -I, the interface, and then -W, the file name. So in this case, I just called it capture.pcap. And then this interesting part right here, this is what we're gonna talk about. So there is no point capturing traffic from your own team. Okay, that's just gonna make noise. You don't need that. You already know what your own team members are doing. And you should only listen on the ports that where your services are running. So what ports are our services running right now? Yeah, let's see. So again, to do that, we do Docker PS. It's going to be a mess. You have 80, 8080, 8000, 3255, and 3306. Okay, so let's run this command. We're already running as root, so there's no need to write sudo tcp dump -I ethernet 1-w capture.pcap, and then we're going to say not source network. So we don't want packets that are coming from our own game network. So 10.60, in my case, I'm team 100. So 100.0/24. I don't want to capture packets coming from my own team subnet. However, I want the destination port and dest port, DST port. Yeah, I'll send over the command. No worries at all. Open quotations and put all the ports here separated by OR. So 3306 or 80. Actually, I'll just keep it lowercase, or 80 or 8080 or 8000 or 3255. And there you go. Now I am listening. You know, it might help sometimes to add a -v or -vv, like verbose, just to see packets. So I need you guys to come and visit my services. So this is my team IP, so 10.60.100.3. Okay, that's my phone. So you guys can go ahead. I want you guys to start talking to my services. Open my Nasarasa page, walk around, open my, talk to my database, talk to everything, just so I can, collect some traffic right here. And I'm going to wait around 60 seconds because I want the check system as well to send, although I have no way of telling what's happening at all. All right, so I'll copy paste the entire command because you guys wanted it. Here you go, even though it's in the slides. Again, make sure to edit the IP addresses and the ports once you actually come to use this in the real competition, okay? All right, so I think that's all. So I'm gonna stop. Thank you guys for that. And there's no Python here. Of course, there's no Python here. So I'm just gonna install Python 3. So I can get a simple HTTP server. What? Python 3 is already installed. Okay. HTTP server on port, let's say 9000. You guys as well, feel free to grab the PCAP that I'm about to grab. So 10.60.100.3 on port 9000. You guys can go ahead and get this capture.pcap as well if you want to analyze it yourself. Guys, feel free. And I want you to notice something. You see how I see some people are accessing the service already, but it all comes from the same IP, 10.80.100.1. I can't tell what team. See, I can't tell who's accessing the service. All you different teams are coming in and you're taking the, you're downloading the capture.pcap, and I can't tell what team is coming to do what, okay? So that's going to be, that's just an important note. So capture.pcap, okay, I'm gonna keep this running just in case some of you want to grab the capture.pcap for a couple of seconds. I'll just close it in 10 seconds before people start Come on. Now's your time to get the capture.pcap. 5 seconds. And I am killing it. All right. So let's open the PCAP. Again, our trusty Wireshark. I'm pretty sure all of you should have Wireshark. If not, very easily downloadable. And we can see what's happening here. So again, like I said, all the source IP addresses, you see all these source IP addresses, they all look the same. I can't tell whether this is, you know, traffic coming from the check system, whether it's traffic coming from NVT, from other teams. So I'm just going to filter this to HTTP. And you can see that this is going to take forever. Okay. This doing all this is going to take forever. There is no way I can tell what is happening here at all. All right. So even if I were to do this manually, you can tell that just in a matter of seconds, I captured so many. I captured around pretty much 5,000 HTTP requests. All right. Can you imagine how much time that's going to take trying to analyze almost every single one, trying to look for the team? And filtering manually is going to take forever. Thankfully, there are services that make this easy for us. And I'm going to introduce you to one of them. Okay. Now we're going to talk about setting up Caront. Okay. Caront is a nice tool on GitHub that it's a packet capturing tool that is built for attack and defense. So let's set it up. So the first step right here, I'm going to paste this in the chat. Everybody just go to your, make sure you're in the default directory. So just CD, go to your home directory and let's clone Caront. First step is cloning Caront. Second step is simply to CD inside the folder and Docker compose up. All right. It's a Docker container. No such surface dash D, but how does that work? I want you to just, okay. If dash D isn't working, do dash dash detach, okay? It's the same thing. So right now it's working. It's bringing up the, it's bringing up Caront and just give it a second to build. There you go. Now it should be up and running. Caront should be definitely 100% up and running. You can do Docker PS to see it. Here we see you have a Docker container called Caront and you have a Mongo Docker container as well, right? So now we can access Caront at our vuln image IP address on port 3333. So in my case, this actually should be .60, not 80. Yeah, so in my case, this is 10.60.100.3 port 3333. And there we go. So a couple of things that we have to set up. We have to set up the server address. What is the IP address of this server right now? And let's type that UR 10.60.100.3. That's the server address. Okay. And what is the flag regex? So what do flags look like? And again, this is a little bit more of day 2 material, but if you go to the conference link that I shared, let's go to the conference link that was up for the rules. This one, conference HITB. Let's paste that in the chat. If you go to that, you'll notice that they talk about flag regexes. Okay. So they give you a regex, this regex. What is the flag? A flag is a string that matches a regex word, 31 character word, and ends with an equal. And these are how flags look like under that regex. You see these are all sample flags. And so why are we telling Caront to deflag regex? Because Caront is going to take our packets and automatically tell us when a packet contains a flag. And so we know that either this is the check system inserting flags into our service, or this is enemy teams taking flags from our service. All right, so grab this regex right here, and I'm going to paste it into the chat. Okay, And I'm going to go back to Caron and I'm going to paste the flag regex. Okay. Then I'm going to put a super secure username and password here. Okay. So that nobody can hack my service. And then you can, and then you guys can just hit save. And now remember, you have to hit add here. Now that's not actually the password I'm going to put onto the service. Otherwise, everybody will be on top of my current service. So, but you know what? For now, let's just leave it. Why not? Okay. Who really cares if you're in my current service? And save. And it's going to tell you, please log in. So you type in your username and password, and here we go. You have logged into your current. Of course, in the actual game, you would have to protect all your services, make sure that nobody is in, nobody's playing around, nobody's missing anything. Now, to all of you guys, I ask you not to log in and ruin the service. So let's just keep it going. And then you guys can play around and ruin all the services all you want. So what does this Caron do? What can we do? Well, one thing is that we can set up services. Okay, so let's set up services. Let's take a look at the list of services that we have. So we have a service called NASA Rasa over here running on port 80. So we're going to come here. I'm going to do port 80. And we're going to call it NASA Rasa. Okay, NASA Rasa. And I'm going to give it a color. Some color. Let's say red. Okay, add service. Okay, let's keep going. What other service do I have? I have health monitor running on port 8080. All right, let's do that. So port 8080, health monitor. Let's give it a different color. Let's say this shade of green. All right, so what we're doing, we're telling Caron what packets, when it gets packets, what packets belong to what service. Okay, and keep going. So let's go back to the terminal. So port 8000 is the service called Free Life. All right, let's go port 8000, Free Life. Let's pick, and I'm going to give this blue, add service. Now the last service that we have, and you can keep adding services if you want to monitor your other services, go ahead. Coffee pot 3255. So we're going to go coffee pot 3255. So 3255, coffee pot. Oh, look, somebody already added coffee pot for me and they gave it brown. They gave it brown. Thank you. Thank you, kind ghost and my service. But yeah, and that's it. Now remember, there are other services as well over here. Okay, for example, this MySQL database that seems to be tied to NASA Rasa is running on port 3306. So we should probably add that. 3306 MySQL, and let's just give MySQL like just orange. It doesn't exist yet. All right, and there you go. I think pretty much now you are monitoring, you have monitored all your services. Okay, everything, every service has been marked properly with name, and I'm just going to call this capital coffee pot because I like my service names to be capital. All right, and that's that. So you've now set up all your services inside of Caron. All right, and we're ready to go to step 2. Let's just go to the rules. Everything is fine. All right, PCAPs. So now you can upload PCAPs. So I'm going to here, I'm going to browse. I'm going to pick the PCAP file we just did, and I'm going to upload. Let's upload this PCAP file. Why is it red? Oh, it's saying it's invalid. Why are you saying it's invalid? It's literally right here. Okay. Well, does it want a PCAP NG? Oh, that's going to be annoying. I don't want to do that. Well, that's anyway, this is one way to upload. And I don't really use this way anyway. I use this post, okay, which takes a file in from the local file system and automatically imports it into Caron. Okay, but here's a problem. Here's a problem. If you know Docker containers, you know that this right here, so I'm going to move the PCAP out of, I think I left the PCAP in the NASA Rasa folder. Yeah, so I'm going to move it here. You know that So this capture.pcap doesn't actually exist inside the Docker container because the Docker container has its own file system. So if I do /capture.pcap here and I'm like, oh, process, it's telling me, file does not exist. Okay, so how can we move this file into the Docker container? Well, we can edit the Docker container such that we have what we call a volume. And what that means is that there is a certain folder on our system that is shared with the Docker container, right? And so let's do that. So I'm going to go into the current folder. Okay, I am going to edit the docker compose.yml. I'm going to go down here to the current section. All right, and I'm going to add volumes. And then the source folder. So I'm doing /root/pcaps. Okay. Where is it located inside the container? It's located in /pcaps. What that does is that it's going to create a folder on our local system called /root/pcaps. And any file that is stored inside that folder will show up inside the Docker container in /pcaps, kind of like shared folders on a VM. Okay, so we're going to save this and we have to rebuild our containers. We have to redeploy them. So I'm going to do docker compose up --build --force recreate. Okay, and here we go. So it's going to recreate the Mongo database and it's going to recreate our current container. So give it a second. Oh, again, I did one mistake. I forgot to add -d. I keep forgetting that. Don't be like me. Don't forget -d. And there you go. The containers are up. So we're going to give it a couple of seconds to run. And if you go back to your /root directory, you'll see that there is a folder called pcaps that got created, and you can move this capture.pcap into the pcaps folder right now. Nice. And now what I can do is that I can tell it, where is the file located inside the container? Well, it's located in /pcaps. What is it called? Capture.pcap. And process. And it says that it's processed, and that's pretty much it. And it processed all these packets. I think I just have to refresh the screen. Why are you not showing me all the pcaps here? Hello. I guess it's taking a second to load it up with the Mongo database. Let's search for post, for example. Perform search. View. What is happening? Why is it all broken like that? Why does nothing ever work properly? Okay. Cancel. I don't want to search anymore. I loaded the pcap /pcap/capture.pcap. Process. Unprocessable. Pcap already processed. File does not exist. That's weird. Are you guys also getting empty over here on the left? Are you not seeing any output? Because it's supposed to start processing the pcap and showing you requests that are happening. Anybody? Can anybody see anything on the left here after they've imported the pcap? Or did you lose me and you have no idea what's happening? There's no output there as well. Even though it says here that it detected 5 packets per service. That's interesting. All right, we'll keep going then. Well, I'll just keep going and we'll probably get output at some point. Okay, so that's great. That means any PCAP that you put in the /pcaps folder, okay, gets uploaded into the service. Okay, let's run this one more time. So I'm actually going to go into my PCAPs folder and I'm going to run the TCP dump command one more time. Okay, come on, run the TCP dump command. There we go. And I want you guys to do the same thing. Okay, go ahead, start talking to my services. You know the IP. Just start, talking to them. Okay. All right, I'll go back to PCAP. I'll go to PCAP's echo. All right, so you guys are talking now. So I will try to process another PCAP file. 206 packets processed. So that's great, but you're not displaying anything here. I don't know if something is broken. And I can do it again. I can just do /pcaps /capture.pcap. Process again, 1,518 packets processed. And still absolutely nothing here. That is very odd. I think it's having issues connected to the Mongo database. That is what I believe. I think it's processing them. But hold on, guys. So I stopped the packet capture. You guys can stop now. I think it had an issue connecting to the Mongo database. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into current again. I'm going to bring down both services. Okay. Nobody else is getting what do you call it, output as well? It's just like that for everybody. So I'm gonna bring let's see, Docker compose up Mongo. So I'm gonna recreate the Mongo container. Force recreate and -d. What? Oh, okay, you have to put the options before the service name. Okay. So -d --force recreate like this. That brings up that creates the Mongo container. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds. We can just look at logs. So I can look at the Mongo logs now. I'm saying that it seems to be going. It seems to be everything is fine. Everything's working. So let's now bring up Docker compose force recreate and -d current. And we can just do Docker compose logs actually, log/f. We can just monitor the logs. Okay. Let's come in here and let's refresh. What? It forgot everything. That's great. Oh, this is great. Okay. Let me just go check the current documentation while I'm at it, just in case I am messing something up. Right. So Echo, what did you not understand about PCAPs while I'm at it, while I'm reading this? What did you not understand?
Maybe he's asking about PCAPs as what is PCAP files, maybe. So basically a PCAP file is just a file that has the network traffic for a certain duration of time.
Oh, what I added in the thank you, Ahmed. What I added in the yeah, I just added a volume. I just added a volume, a Docker volume. So what I did is that I created a folder on the host that is mapped to a folder inside the container. I'll run you through that step one more time, just once I get everything working. So let me grab the regex one more time. Flag regex. Okay. I think this regex is what might have broken things, to be honest with you. Not gonna lie. So I'm just gonna remove the slashes and just keep this regex like this. And again, an admin. We're gonna turn off auth required, you know? Why not? Let's just see what happens. Okay, so again, let's try this one more time. So there should be /pcaps/capture.png.pcap process. Okay, still nothing is coming out here, but we can come look here at ports. There are no services. Here are the statistics. 0 connections, 0 client bytes, 0 total bytes. So even though it loaded the pcap file, it's for some reason just not processing them. And even if I upload the pcap right now, it thinks it's invalid for some reason. And it's not about the fact that it's a pcap ng. There's just something it doesn't agree with about my pcap file. That is odd.
I remember this worked in the rehearsal, right?
Yeah, it was working, and I saw everything on the left.
Okay, just uninstall it and install it again.
That might be a good idea. Can you see your Docker Compose for, yeah, sure, here it is. So again, just volumes, just /root/pcaps, and then /pcaps should be perfectly fine. Okay, we're gonna redo this then. One more time. So I'm gonna Docker Compose down. I'm just gonna remove this. Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, I've worked with Docker for a very long time. You get used to it. All right, so let's remove Caronte. Let's restart on the steps, shall we? There are other things other than Caronte, by the way, that do the same exact thing. There is, if I remember, Flower. Flower also does the same thing. Another service called Flower, but for now we're just gonna set this up. And hey, we're way under time anyway, so we have all the time in the world. We can just sit here and spend 4 hours trying to make it work, no problem. So let's try to make it work one more time without the volume. Let's just bring it back up. Let's see if the volume was the issue. Okay. Although I doubt that that's not how it's supposed to work. So server address. The IP address of the vulnerable machine must be the destination address of all connections in the PCAP. Well, if we open the PCAP, what is the destination address? It's 10.60.100.3. So 10.60.100.3. There we go. Don't see what was so hard about that. I'm gonna leave flag regex off actually for now because I feel like there might be an issue with the regex. And save. Oh, okay, it's complaining about the regex. Okay. I'm gonna do something for just a second, okay? There was an alternative here. You guys don't worry about this. This is more like day 2 material. I am just looking for one specific thing.
I'm actually suspecting the server IP. It should be maybe the The checker IP. Because all the machines are netted to it.
No, it says right here that it's the destination address of all connections. So the destination. So they are coming to us.
Ah, the destination. Okay, makes sense.
Destination.
Makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah.
All right, so let's try this. Okay, in this case, this is without the volume. I'm just gonna come here to the pcaps, and it gives you down here the ability to upload files via, you know, curl. It gives you the curl command. So I want to take this. I want to take this actually. Now let's try uploading a pcap. Why are you like this? So for anybody else, you guys, you can go ahead and capture your own pcaps and try to upload them and let me know if that's helping with anything. As for me, I am going to manually upload this. So I'm just going to copy this curl command that they give. And I'm going to, so this file, I'm going to say file is dot slash, no, it was slash root slash capture dot pcap. There we go. It supposedly did something. No, still pcaps. No, that didn't do anything. Okay, I'm still going to try the volumes again because I know that the volumes has nothing to do with it. So let's go Docker compose. Let's come here and to volumes slash root slash pcaps is connected to slash pcaps in the container. Maybe slash pcaps is a bad folder. So I'm just going to say slash hitb slash pcaps, for example, just something away from everything. How do we submit flags? pcaps does have a default folder in there. Aha, I see. So I might have been overriding something. You get me? So I'll just leave it like that. I'll leave it like slash slash hitb slash pcaps inside the container, so we don't override anything. I might have overridden something, so that's why it was broken, I feel. So we'll do force recreate to recreate the containers, and we'll
I think you would need to take it down, or it's fine like this.
no, force recreate will do the job. It's okay.
Okay, good.
So Derek, you're asking how do we submit flags. You will get to learn how we're gonna write exploits. We're gonna exploit them. We're gonna, you know, be stealing flags from all kinds of teams tomorrow, day 2. All that juicy stuff happens tomorrow, right? For now, we're just focusing more on the defense aspect. And tomorrow we're gonna teach you how to patch as well. So same thing. All right, so we have a pcaps folder. So inside the pcaps folder, I am going to, well, there's still capture.pcap here. So on this, I should be able to do slash hitb, come on, slash hitb slash pcaps slash capture.pcap and process. So it processed it again, same exact thing. It's just, there's just nothing here.
Maybe you have to click on it or something, like click on the ID or something so that it pops up.
No, if I remember correctly, you just uploaded and it just worked. Like, so if I do, let's search for the word get, for example, perform search. It's for some reason this thing that's broken. This interface on the left is just not loading in properly. I wonder if they pushed an update yesterday. Let's see. No, 17 days ago. So I can't blame them. Is there a JavaScript error? That's the first thing that I came to check if there's a JavaScript error in the console.
Okay, I think we might just go ahead and do it using Wireshark.
Wireshark is very difficult to filter though.
Yeah, there's a special language for filter.
Older version from GitHub, that's also a good idea. Maybe it's because we didn't put any services, although it doesn't work like that. Like if I put, for example, 80 and I know it's NASA Rasa, and I just give it like red add service. Just nothing on the left here. See, it's supposed to be all addresses. Oh, I think. Is it actually the capture address? That might be it actually. I think Ahmed, I think you might be right. That it might be this capture address right here. That doesn't make any sense though. So right now this PCAP, I'm gonna download it one more time. Okay. So just bear with me, okay? This is last attempt, and then might just give up on it. It's okay. This is a journey we are doing together. Let's just come here, and so I'm gonna download the PCAP one more time. Okay. So this is capture.pcap. I'm downloading it. Okay. I downloaded it again. It's called capture one this time. So we're gonna open capture one. Here, let's just close this and open capture one more time. And we see that the destination IP address is actually 10.60.100.3, which is what I don't understand at all. The entire thing is just 10.60.100.3. It's no other else. So did I set it up wrong? What's the interface on the left called? I have no clue. This is just supposed to be like, it's supposed to, like, if we go to the current GitHub page, this is how it's supposed to look like. You see this? It's supposed to show you all these connections on the left and be like, oh, this is someone who was leaving. This was someone stealing a flag. This is someone not stealing a flag. You get all this information, and it's just not doing that. Yeah, connections list. Fair enough. No issues are open. That is very odd. No worries.
I would say that maybe just try to put the IP address of the checker, like reset it again and do the volume thingy correct from the beginning, and then try to put the IP of the checker.
All right, let's see then. Statistics, and it just says.
Or actually, it doesn't make sense if we put the checker because the checker.
It will never find the IP address of the checker.
Mhm.
So what I'm going to do is the following. I am going to come here. I'm going to kill this. I am going to open a tmux where I am just creating. I think double V. I think I'm going to do what you're doing, double VK. What you're suggesting, which is we're going to not do the volumes. So I'm going to leave. I'm going to go to current, and I'm going to Docker compose, and I'm going to remove the volumes. So I'm going to comment those out. Even though I know for sure it should work 100%, like absolutely. No need for sudo. I'm just going to Docker compose up and force recreate the two of them. And I'm going to leave the logs. You can use just Docker copy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What the reason why I want to do a volume. Okay, so I'm going to tell you why I want to do a volume is because it's going to get tiring for you to upload your PCAPs manually every 60 seconds, you know, every 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So I wanted to run a command automatically that just, so I wanted to capture PCAPs, put them directly inside the container and upload them, you know, automatically every 30 seconds using some curl command or something. You get me? So I don't know why it's like this. Multi-part upload. Let's just see how to do curl multi. File, upload file. I just want file. Add file.txt. Cool, okay. So we're gonna try that instead. Maybe you can access the container to find out what happened. That is a good idea. That is also a good idea. So right now everything is running. I'm going to refresh Current one more time. And all right, so I need to I need to reset Current itself. So I'm going to kill this and I'm going to force recreate the Mongo. So I want you to, I wanted to recreate the Mongo database. Come on, man. Just all right. So knowing this, I can now bring up both containers. Okay. This is going to be, well, okay, it's not reset for some reason. Oh, well. Is there any request that isn't finished, isn't finishing? Services, rules, any console errors, nothing, absolutely nothing. Okay, so what we're going to do right now is I'm going to SSH from another terminal. I'm going to make this big as well. And I'm going to go in to my PCAPs folder. I'm going to stop calling it capture. I'm going to call it something else. So I'm going to run the TCP dump command again. So history, grab TCP dump. Let's just grab that. Oh my God, it's in a different terminal. Okay. So I pasted it in the chat earlier. So I'm just going to grab that. Actually, I copied it. Where is TCP dump? There you are. Okay. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to, here we go. We're capturing Ethernet 1. And I'm actually going to remove the not source net, you know, just in case, just in case. And now we're capturing absolutely any traffic that's hitting our VM, regardless of where it's coming from. All right. I still wonder why the folder that we mounted doesn't appear on the container. It does actually, it does successfully. It's just not processing them properly is what is the error here. Thank you so much, Echo, for the command. I'm actually going to kill this and I'm going to run this in a tmux session. So tmux, if you don't know what tmux is or tmux, it lets you run things in the background, which is great. All right, there we go. So now I have constantly, oh, I said I don't want to call it tmux, right? I said I don't want to call it capture.pcap. I keep doing that. I'm just going to call it yummy packets.pcap. Okay, there we go. No, yummy packets sounds better. Maybe it will be happy now. If we do this, this will please it. All right, so now we have to figure out how to upload the PCAPs like this. So we're gonna copy this curl command, okay? And what we need to do is we need to come here and let's just make this curl command a little bit normal. Don't know why it's like this. And we're not going to be posting to this IP. We're going to be posting to localhost because this service is running locally from our perspective. And the file we want to upload is called It's in /root /pcaps /yummy packets.pcap. Okay. And
Yeah,
dash
it's also in the same directory, so you could just put the file name.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, let's just do that actually instead of we'll just do that. That's a good idea. 401 on unauthorized, authorization required. Okay, we need to give it the credentials, which I actually have no clue how to give it the credentials from here. You know what? I'm actually gonna I'll tell you something. I know how to get this done. So Docker compose down Mongo. We're gonna kill the database. Hello. Just kill. Okay, Docker compose down. Kill everything. Why are you like this? Up Mongo. Let's just build Mongo. I'll force the database to have a fresh new everything. And let's just bring everything up again. All right, so I'm gonna disable authentication on this. So the server address is 10.60.100.3. There is no changing that, but I can give it a CIDR. So I'm going to do /24, anything that's on this network. I'm going to use the other flag regex that I had earlier, which is this better one. And I'm going to disable authentication, okay, which is probably a bad thing. You shouldn't do that. You should kind of figure out how to do it. But I think right now, I can now upload this via curl. And it says continue and it works. So if I come here now, I see that a PCAP has been uploaded and it has 909 packets and everything is fine. It still nothing is just popping up on the left. There's absolutely nothing. Let's see here. Maybe we need some rules. Okay, maybe we need some rules. So let's add a rule here called get requests. Okay, and I'm gonna make it green like this, and I'm gonna say this is get. What is the regex? Get. Okay, and add rule. What's happening here? Just get. Just why is that so hard? Just the word get.
Can we put it between petitions?
No, I don't. That's not how regex works. But you know what? Capture absolutely. Yeah, I think it's get and then like this, which is like absolutely any amount of what is happening. Okay. There we go.
I think you have to click on add on the right side.
Oh, right. Right. There we go. Add. Okay, that is so weird. Okay, add rule. All right. Now, is this working? I have no clue whether this is working. So let's keep going. Let's keep going. So you guys, I need you guys now to all go interact with the service. Okay. Do everything. Just like touch the service in every way possible. Okay. And I'm just gonna keep, so I'm gonna run this entire thing in a watch. So I'm gonna do watch. Okay, so this curl command, I'm gonna add watch in front of it. Every 2 seconds, it will upload, I think, if I understood, it will run this entire command. Okay. So let's keep going. You guys are just touching all like just like messing with the service. And let's wait. Let's see. Let's at least add some services. I kind of missed how you add the PK file. Yeah, we'll get to that. Don't worry about that. So I'm just gonna add 80 Nasarasa and let's make this like blue. Add service. Nasarasa port 80. I just want to check. So this is uploading a new PCAP file every 2 seconds. Okay, so I need you guys to just go and like mess with Nasirasa. Just talk to Nasirasa. Okay, just focus on Nasirasa. Just log in, make accounts, live life. Oh, you guys are really, you guys are just really attacking this thing. There is nothing happening. Let's try to search for the word get, for example. Perform search. Occurrences occurs only once. There is something weird happening with this thing, man. You know what? Let's actually try to force a round to finish. So I'm going to come and I'm also going to log in here. And I'm actually going to turn off one of my services because I know that the check system should talk to my service once every 60 minutes. So let's go to /home. And I'm going to go to coffee pot and I'm gonna turn off. So Docker compose down. Actually gonna kill coffee pot. Just so that the check system is like, hey man, one of your services is kind of down. Do something about that. I think the issue is that it's genuinely not matching any of these rules. You get me? Like you have to have a rule that matches. You need to have a rule that's matching. You get me? And it's that's not happening. You guys can try to exploit actually. So let me try. So go to 10. I think on NASA Rasa you can exploit like this. I think just go to users, look at the latest user, and okay, I'm gonna try to exploit myself, and let's just see what happens. And you go to my account, and I see the flag. There is one flag. There you go. Ta-da! Hello, current. I swear someone took the flag. It's not detecting exploits. Okay. That's a great idea. Well, I just attempted to exploit my service like 3 times. And if I go here to the check system, the check system should pretty much see that that my coffee pot is down. Coffee pot for me is down, you know? That's what I don't get. Okay, so I think the issue is all right. I think I understand what the problem is. I think I got it. What's happening is that my regex, I think my regex isn't working the way it's supposed to work. So if we go to online, just some regex, and we slap this in, and we take the flag that I saw earlier, and I put it in, well, it does get matched, which is weird though. So it really should find it. Do these guys have an example for like a regex for the flag? Here we go. So AZ09. Oh, they They backslashed the parenthesis. Look at that. You see that? That's the problem. So the entire time, this problem has been the regex, I think. That is actually very, that is so dumb. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this again, guys. All right. So I think I properly understood what happened here. So going back to everything, we're going to reset. Okay, follow me closely this time. Okay, this is what we're going to do. I'm gonna bring up coffee pot again. Okay. Yeah, but we need to escape we need to escape the curly braces. You get me? Like it has to be escaped. That's what I saw from the screenshot. You see in their screenshot, they're escaping the not this one. This one, they're escaping the curly brace. Well, we don't have curly braces in our flag actually. So it wasn't the regex. The regex should work perfectly fine. Tell you what, I need everybody to follow along with me. All right, we're gonna do this one more time, and I think I need everybody to follow me, to follow along with me on this. All right, here's what we're going to do. Yeah, well, I'm going to exploit you guys. All right, so for now, go to your current installation and just kill it. Okay, just kill that thing. All right, we don't want that. Now we're going to git clone one more time. All right, so everybody go and you git clone current. Okay, download current and clone it in. All right, once you're in, go into the current folder, do docker compose. Okay, I'm going to do docker compose down. I'm going to do down because I think mine are still running. And then I'm going to do up -- build -- force recreate. Just to make sure that nothing is happening. These are fresh containers right out of the bat. You can add -d if you want to. Now I need everybody to verify that you guys have current set up. You're looking at this page, same as me. Okay, everybody here? Let me know when you guys are on this page. At least I'll wait for you guys. The recreate command, it's like this. So you're doing docker compose up -- build -- force recreate. Okay, you're bringing current up, making sure that it's, you know, fresh service. Okay, all good. And now the flag we're going to use, the flag regex we're going to use is the one that they supplied us directly, which is this \w 31. Okay, the server address needs to be your own address. Okay, your VM address. So 10.60. your team number, find out what that is, and then .3. Okay, what was the last command? I will show you what the last command was. It's this docker compose up build. I'll just paste it in here. Okay, once you go inside the current folder, run that up, write that up. Actually, hold on 1 second, like that. All right, so you guys have your server addresses up. You guys have your server address put in properly, your flag regex. Don't set up authentication just yet. Okay, leave authentication empty. Don't worry, this is just training. And save. What? Flag regex length less than 8. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I am going to take this new regex here. Okay. and I'm going to put it here. Okay, and I'm going to say save. There we go. We're in. Okay. Oh, it added those slashes for us. We don't want those slashes. That is a problem. Me no want slash. Do they have those slashes as well in their regex? No, they don't. Okay, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna do something just extra here where I'm going to we want to update the rule. How do I do that? All right, I'm gonna create a rule called alt flag in. Alt flag, okay, and I'm just gonna make it like an orange color. The regex is like this. And UTF-8, and there we go. Add and add rule. Okay. That's just, oh, it adds the slash anyway. Okay. All right, all right, all right. So there's no point this. I'm just gonna delete. How can I delete this rule? Delete. Okay, I can't really delete rules. Yeah, this even when the training is done right now, until tomorrow, even after tomorrow, this will be open. You guys can set up current. You guys can try to set up flower. I wanted to set up flower, but it didn't really work. This one, flower for AD CTF. You guys can go ahead and try to set that one up instead. Good luck. It is much harder than current. But let's just try to get this working, okay? So I'm going to set up the services. I'm going to do everything, okay? I'm going to set up the services. So port 80 is NASA Rasa. Okay, colored, I said colored, some color, some dark shade of green, okay? Then we said port 8080 was, if I remember correctly, okay, I'm just going to put 3255. 3255 is coffee pot, right? I need all of you guys to be with me on this. And 8080 health monitor, make it any color you want. I'm just going to make it this blue. The last one is port 8000, which is free life. And I'm gonna color it this sort of olive color. All right, I also have MySQL running on 3306. So MySQL color, I'm gonna call it this purple. Okay, there we go. That's all the services. These are the rules. And now it's finally time for our PCAPs. So what are we gonna do? I want all of you guys to open a terminal, okay? And I need all of you guys to do this, okay? And we are going to run a packet capture, okay? We're gonna call it, we're gonna run our packet capture right now. Okay, so I'm gonna remove everything here. Okay, run a clean packet capture on any port that you guys want. Actually, run it on all the ports like this. I'm gonna give you this command right here. I'm gonna call it current test, okay? I'm gonna take all this like this, okay? And you guys run exactly this command, right? So I'm gonna run. And so what I'm going to do right now, is I'm going to try to do something really quick. Is I'm going to try to randomly start exploiting some of the teams. Okay, I have pre-written exploits right here. I'm going to try to get them running. Okay. Let's see here. Let's run the NASA Rasa exploit. Okay. I'm going to start exploiting just in random order. Okay. Let's start with team 53, for example. Okay. Let's run that. That's taking a long time, and it broke. Okay. Service looks down. I'm going to attack myself. And I stole a flag from myself. I'm going to attack another org. I stole a flag from them. I'm going to attack. Can you guys give me your team IDs? Anybody here with Caron set up? Just give me your team IDs. All right. So 45. Let's go 45. Flag stolen. Let's go 32. Flag stolen. 18. 40. Okay, there are people all over the place. 16. 8. Soft attic, don't worry about it. I'm just this is all just for training, you know. I want to see what happens. Team 12. Free flags. Everybody's like free flags. Oh, someone actually told me 100, which is me. I exploited myself again for the second time. I actually didn't pay attention to that. So I think I got everybody. 32. Okay, so yeah, I know for I in range. So I didn't submit these flags. Okay, maybe some of you just started submitting flags. For those of you who know how to submit flags, but I didn't tell you how to submit flags yet. So I didn't actually submit those flags. I just stole them. Okay, so you were all running packet captures. So I need you to stop the packet captures now. Okay, stop the packet captures. And we're gonna try to upload these packet captures right now to Caront. Okay, you'll learn the exploit tomorrow. It's a very simple exploit, especially the Nasser Asa one. So I am now going to go into that folder where the pcaps are, and I'm going to run the curl command that lets me. No, it's not. It's the exploit for this one is not complicated. Some exploits in the other services are a bit tough and require a lot of thinking. But the ones I'm going to explain, I'm going to try to give you the best advice tomorrow, how to find vulnerabilities really easily. All right, don't worry about that. So I need you guys all to run the following command. Okay, so assuming you called it the same thing I told you to call the file. If you called it Caront_test, so you can just call Caront test like this. Okay, and you uploaded it. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to give you these curl commands. Nope, not here. So here you go. This is the curl command you guys should run. Okay, so I had a pcap that was uploaded right now, and it got processed in the service, and I see nothing on the left. Does everybody else share this sad fate? Is anybody else's side empty? Display on the side. So if you guys see anything on the left, if you guys see any packets here highlighted on the left, let me know. Say something in the chat. Say that you see. MT2. All right, I'm going to go into the container, see what's happening. You got 1.5 MB of pcaps. I'm trying to upload this manually. PCAP already processed. It's not just that. My issue is that it's not doing anything. You get me? My issue is that it's not showing any packets. You get me? So I think this one right here, HTTP stream. And then if we go next, no, actually, hold on, because I exploited myself, right? So I should be able to see my own flag. That's what I'm saying. Why is it not? Why is it not? I'm trying to find. I swear, I'm just trying to find the where the exploit kicked in, because I signed in, right? And that's how you sign in, and then that's it. I should have gotten the response is not here. That's the problem. Oh, that is the problem. Why is the response not here? Oh, I think I see the issue. Oh, you guys are not gonna believe this. Okay. Can you guys guess what the problem is this entire time? Can you guys guess what the problem was? That's correct. Do you guys not notice that the responses are not included in the PCAP? Filtering was for the destination port only. So the PCAPs don't contain the response. Oh my God, I can't believe it was something that, oh my God, we wasted so much time on just the, my heart hurts. It had to be not DST port, it had to be port. Okay, now I want to, now I want to try something. Can you guys start talking to the service now? This is going to be so stupid if it works. I swear, if I start seeing, oh my God, if I start saying, oh, pain, so much pain. Oh, it works. It it works. Oh, God damn. Okay. So now, all right. So things, so we can finally do things the way they're supposed to be doing. So let me tell you what was the problem. The only problem was in how I was capturing the PCAPs. So I had DST port, destination port. That's not how you should do it. You should make it port. Okay. Now when I do watch, so I'm going to make this watch, right? Okay. And what happens with watch is that it's going to it's going to run the command every X number of seconds, okay? So I'm going to add another field here called flush all true. Okay, flush all true. And I'm going to run it. Every 2 seconds, it's going to upload the new. Every 2 seconds, this curl command is going to talk to the API and upload the new PCAP. And you can see right here that there's a lot of things happening. Look, now that you finally can see them, look at this. I can pick flag out. I can see people stealing my flags right now. I can see that people are stealing flags. There it is. Flag out, flag out, flag out. These are requests, full requests of people coming and talking to my service and stealing the flag from my service. That's actually amazing. So right now you guys are just spamming the service with as much power as you can. And that's it. That's it. I can even, let's do flag in. I can now see the check system placing my own flags into the system. Look, I can see here that it's adding a flag right here. I see the flag right here. This is the check system talking to my own services and adding flags into my services. Finally, guys, we have solved it. So this is such an important tool in CTFs later on. Why is this such an important tool? Because then you guys can tell when people are stealing your flags. You can go and see the exploit and be like, hey, what's happening here? Take a look at it and grab it out. So I can see here in CoffeePot, somebody attempted to steal the flag. See, it says flag out. And I can see the flag is leaving right here. Someone stole. So I'll be like, okay, let me look at this. Let me look at this request. Let me try to see what happened. How did we get here? In other services as well. This is great. I can see here in another service, someone in Health Monitor, someone was stealing my flag in Health Monitor. Oh, this is actually great. Okay, now I want you guys all to go to your current instances and get ready. I'm gonna exploit you all right now. Okay? So you guys should be able to see the exploit happening on your instances. So let me know when you guys are ready and I'll fire the exploits at you guys one more time. You guys ready? All right. All right, if you're ready, start telling me your team number and I'll just fire it at you. All right, we got 12, so we're hitting 12. We got 18, we're gonna get 18. We got 29, 29. Got 8, let's hit 8. So you guys, one of the requests coming your way contains the actual exploit and you should start seeing it get marked in current. No, number 6, I think somebody is playing around with your service, or my exploit script sucks, so don't worry about that. 45, let's go 29. All right, any other teams ready? All right, team 51. There we go, stolen. I'll even steal my own flag. I know it'll get marked. Yeah, I got 51. I got 51. All right, do 51 again. Nope, 51 is okay. 51 is broken because I exploited 51, and my exploit only works for the top user, which is something I should fix. All right, I'll wait until the check system adds another flag, and then I'll do 51 again. So to those of you who did get hit, so right now, I should be able to notice that in flag out, at least, I should see that. Where is Nasarasa? Why is Nasarasa not here? Service port, I need service port 80. Advanced filter. Client address 10.80.100.129. Oh wow, for some reason it doesn't see traffic coming from me. Oh well. Do we have to rerun TCP dump to keep monitoring? No, you can keep TCP dump running and then upload the same file over and over again. So I'm gonna capture team 51 again. And again, tomorrow, once we learn how these things once we learn how the exploits work later on, you will notice, you will take note that this is, you know, like how the exploits work, and how you'll have a real environment where all of you will be exploiting each other, and you guys can just keep stealing flags from each other and monitoring and trying to understand how other teams found out the exploit before you did and stuff like that. All right. For now, I'm going to stop this. If you guys are still shaky on this, trust me, we have more than enough time tomorrow. Again, as we saw, I'm pretty much almost out of material. We're just gonna, yeah, I'm pretty much out of material. This Current is pretty much the last thing. So I will stick around, I guess, although we could just call it a day. I'll go to sleep. But I will stick around if anybody wants me to double check with them if Current is working. Although genuinely, once tomorrow I explain to you the exploits and how everything works, then you guys will see, you know, you guys will get an idea about how all of this works. All right. So here's some homework for you guys. Okay. Current might not be perfect right now. You know, as you can see in Nasarasa, the regex isn't working properly. You know, it's not finding out the proper regex for Nasarasa. Okay, so maybe the regex is wrong, right? So some homework for you guys is the system. No, you can have my exploit script tomorrow. Tomorrow, I promise I will give you the exploit script. All right. For now, homework. No, I can't do tonight. Listen, it's all part of tomorrow's training. Okay, you guys have patience and you'll have everything. I promise you that. All right. For now, what you guys can do is, as homework for right now, go take a look at your services. Try to see what vulnerabilities there are. Try to, can you ask what time tomorrow? Same time we started this training, 12 UTC. So 12 UTC tomorrow, we will have, so 12 noon UTC, we are going to have the second day of training where we're going to exploit everything. We're finally going to teach you how to submit flags, all that good stuff. All right. Homework is work on Current. Try to set up a system that works for you best in Current. Okay. Try to get the regex properly. Try to get the, you know, look at your services. By the way, there is one very obvious exploit, very obvious, that you can, if you can find it before tomorrow, well, that's good job. It's the easiest exploit to get. Can you have your TCP dump? You can have my TCP dump command, no worries. The TCP dump command is this. This is just what I'm running right now. Okay. Oops, keep forgetting to send to everyone. Here you go. Yeah, this is the TCP. For me, in order for me to run it repeatedly, like every 2 seconds, like I'm doing right now, all you got to do simply is add watch in front of it. So there's a command in Linux called watch, and you can even, I think watch even takes an argument like interval, and run the pcap upload every 40 seconds. That's a good time. And then just put in single quotes the command you want to run. Okay, so the full thing would be this. Okay, this is the full thing that I'm running right now. Every 40 seconds, it will basically run and re-upload the, here you go. Every 40 seconds, it will re-upload the pcap to Caront one more time, right? So for now, this is your homework. This network is open. It is awake and alive. You guys can stay up and look at the services, try to find exploits, set up Caront properly, and live your lives, okay? The check system will stay running, everything will stay running, life is all good, all right? Now, just to summarize what we learned today, even though we wasted 1 hour trying to set up Caront and it was my fault with the TCP command, you guys should finally understand how attack defense games work. You just had some fun right now in it. You know how to connect to the Hack in the Box game network. You know how to set up and manage your virtual machines. You know how to manage your services. You know how to access the code belonging to services. And you know how to capture traffic. Finally, after suffering, you know how to capture traffic related to your services. And you guys can now set up Caront properly and set up maybe Flower if you want to, but Caront is much better. Do you need to get RCE? No, actually. Very rarely are the bugs going to be, well, not very rarely. I have no point. There's no point to saying that because the challenges change every game. Most of, like, you don't have to get RCE. The flag, for example, let me tell you something. Let me show you how the flag works, okay? Let's see, for example, where are the flags stored? So in the case of NASA Rasa, okay, where are the flags? You see that there are users right here, okay? Some of these users have been created by the check system. Like, let's say this brand any, okay? If you can manage to find a bug that allows you to log in as brand any, when you go to his user page, you will see an extra slot down here that says, you know, a private message for user only, and it contains the flag. Is it SQL injection? Is it some logic bug? Is it up to you? Find out. Right? So you don't always need to find RCE. It could be just a bug that just allows you to, like, maybe SQL injection, maybe some XML injection, maybe anything. Could be absolutely anything at all. So yeah, the bugs could be anything. Maybe flag is too old. I refreshed my exploit, but I'm still getting flag is too old from submission. So the flags are only valid for 15 minutes. So you're most probably, your exploit isn't tuned properly and you're grabbing an old flag that's older than 15 minutes. You have to know that the services have been running for like 3 hours, 4 hours now. So if you don't tune your exploit properly, you most probably are grabbing an old flag, especially if you're trying to grab a flag off one of my screenshots. It's most probably too old right now. So yeah, that's pretty much it. As I was saying, sometimes you don't need to exploit the service. What if there is something exposed that shouldn't be exposed? What if there is some hard-coded like SSH password or something, and you just literally hack the VM itself and you just go in and steal all the flags straight from the containers without even bothering to exploit the bug? In attack and defense, everything is game. Everything's on the table, all cards on the table. Do whatever is necessary to get the flags. Just don't break any of the rules we mentioned earlier. So you can be as creative as you want in getting the flags. Have fun. There are even some firewalls out there for attack and defense that sit, and when they detect an exploit, they will literally take the exploit and fire it back at the other teams automatically. I thought it was a bit outdated, and I had trouble setting it up myself, but you guys are more than welcome to go out and explore and look for attack defense tools and all that stuff. All right. So any questions before we call it a day? So first question is about the recording. Will the recording be available soon? So the recording for this session, this is streaming directly right now onto YouTube. So I think once we end the call right now, it might be just available almost immediately on YouTube. So yeah. That's a complicated question, Noob, but I would say yes. I would say yeah, you would still qualify. Do we have a Discord server? Yes, very good question. We actually do. We do have a Discord server. I've been sitting in the Discord and the channel this entire time, waiting in CTF training and Hack in the Box. So I can just drop you guys an invite here. I don't think I can actually. We do have a link. We do have a link. Hold on. Ahmed, if you are possibly here, can you give them the Discord link? All right. I'll just drop in the Discord. I'll type it in myself. So Discord link, here we go. You guys are more than welcome to drop into Discord and ask questions as the night goes on. Whoever is awake at the time should be able to answer you. And it's just for general support. You know, you guys want to get updates, want to know what's happening. There we go. Should hit you guys any second now. Nope, that's definitely not that. That's the flag regex. Here we go. Why is the first H capital? That's not how that works. Let me just double check if that works. Should just tell you it's an invite. That should work, right, everybody? You guys see this? This works? It dropped you into Discord? Yep. For some reason, I can't see people joining. I see people hopping in right now, but nobody's saying anything. Yep, you're there. Nice. Hello. All right, everybody is here. Life is good. Okay, in that case, the floor is again open for questions. Does anybody have any question at all about anything before we call it a night? Trust me, tomorrow is going to be fun. Okay, we're talking, there's going to be exploitation, lots of flags, lots of teams are going to be hitting each other. You guys are going to be rushing to patch your services because the scoreboard's going to be moving all over the place. Again, it's training, but it's going to be fun. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. There's already one team that's exploiting Coffee Pot, and they already have 52 points. They're just stealing flags from Coffee Pot this entire time. Some teams, as you can see right now, already have an SLA of 4. That's very good. Other teams have slightly less SLA. Other teams have 0 SLA because these guys didn't show up to the training, so their services have been down this entire time. And you know, some teams have half SLA. You know, they came in late maybe, but you guys up here are doing great so far. Oh, there's another team that's just robbing free life flags. Wow, we have some people in here that really they just got straight to business. But don't worry about it. You guys are gonna have a great time tomorrow. Great. So in that case, see you guys all tomorrow. The recording should be available on the Hack in the Box YouTube channel. The link was uploaded in the chat at the very beginning of the session. I think I might be able to scroll up and grab it. Yep, here it is. Paste it down here for everybody. And thank you so much, guys, for everything. And we'll see you tomorrow, same time, 12 p.m. UTC. Thank you all for attending. We hope to see you tomorrow. You guys have been great. Thank you so much.